Once upon a time, there was a young monk named Takashi who was afraid of everything. He was afraid of the dark, he was afraid of heights, and he was even afraid of spiders. He was so afraid that he would avoid anything that made him feel scared. He would not go out at night, he would not climb stairs, and he would not even go into the basement of his own monastery. One day, Takashi's teacher, the Zen master, called him aside. "Takashi," he said, "I have noticed that you are afraid of many things. Is this true?" Takashi nodded. "Yes, master," he said. "I am afraid of everything." The Zen master smiled. "Do not worry, Takashi," he said. "Fear is a natural emotion. Everyone feels fear from time to time, but fear is not something that should control you. You must learn to face your fears and overcome them." Takashi was confused. "But how can I do that?" he asked. "I am so afraid." The Zen master reached into his sleeve and pulled out a small wooden ball. "This is a koan," he said. "It is a riddle that will help you to understand your fear. I want you to take this koan with you and meditate on it. Think about it all day long, and when you come back to me tomorrow, I will answer your question." Takashi took the koan and bowed to his teacher. "Thank you, master," he said. Takashi went back to his room and sat down on his meditation cushion. He held the koan in his hands and stared at it. He thought about what the Zen master had said. He thought about his fear, and he tried to meditate on the koan. But Takashi's mind was too restless. He could not concentrate. He kept thinking about all the things he was afraid of. He kept imagining all the bad things that could happen to him. Finally, Takashi gave up. He put the koan away and went to bed. The next day, Takashi went back to the Zen master. He bowed and handed the koan back to him. "I'm sorry, master," he said. "I could not understand the koan. I could not meditate on it. I'm still afraid." The Zen master smiled. "Do not worry, Takashi," he said. "It is not easy to overcome fear. It takes time and practice. But you are on the right path. You have already taken the first step by admitting that you are afraid. Now you must continue to face your fears and challenge yourself. The more you do this, the stronger you will become, and the less afraid you will be." Takashi nodded. "I will try, master," he said. The Zen master patted Takashi on the shoulder. "I know you will," he said. Takashi left the Zen master's room and went back to his own room. He thought about what the Zen master had said. He knew that the Zen master was right. He had to face his fears if he wanted to overcome them. So Takashi started to challenge himself. He went for walks at night. He climbed trees. He even went swimming in the ocean. At first, Takashi was very scared, but he kept doing it, and the more he did it, the less afraid he became. One day, Takashi was walking through the forest when he came across a bear. The bear was big and scary, but Takashi was not afraid. He remembered what the Zen master had taught him. He stood up to the bear and said, "I am not afraid of you." The bear was surprised by Takashi's courage. It stopped and looked at Takashi for a moment. Then, the bear turned and walked away. Takashi had faced his greatest fear, and he had won. He was no longer afraid of anything. He had become fearless. Takashi went back to the Zen master and told him what had happened. The Zen master smiled and said, "I am proud of you, Takashi. You have learned the true meaning of fearlessness. The moral of the story is that fear is a natural emotion, but it can be overcome. The first step to overcoming fear is to understand it. Once you understand your fear, you can face it head-on and conquer it. Fearlessness does not mean that you will never be afraid again. It means that you will not let your fear. Here are some additional tips to become fearless. Acknowledge your fear. The first step to overcoming fear is to acknowledge that you are afraid. Don't try to pretend that you're not. Understand your fear. Once you've acknowledged your fear, try to understand where it comes from. What are you afraid of? What are the worst things that could happen? Be positive. It's important to stay positive when you're trying to overcome fear. Remind yourself that you can do it and that you're not alone. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this.